Hi Cancer, welcome to your January 2020 tarot reading. It's Raina here, and yeah, 2020, new decade, new spread, baby, that I created today. Okay, that I created today without taking into account the shape of my table. Oof. Just oof. But it's all good. Wow. I've been getting the Wheel of Fortune. I've been shuffling these cards, and I've been getting it over and over again. It's funny because did I get that in different positions. Okay, so we've got two major arcana cards. Woohoo! And I think that it was because it was Capricorn, so it's like your two signs are definitely very having a lot of like change and stuff like that, so that makes sense. Okay. And I've been getting that card. And the outcome, let's see, I want to pick that one. It's underneath. I'm going to pick an additional card that's on top. Okay. All right. So, the first position is, I'm going to put this to the side, I guess it's too hard, is, what is your life like right now? I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune, so that's that sense of alignment. Yeah, I believe that I got that for Capricorn or something. I definitely got for more than one sign, and I've only done a few of them. This is the idea of alignment, of having like good things happening to you right now. And this card connects to Jupiter. Jupiter is in Capricorn now. So Capricorn is your opposite sign. The opposite house is the 7th house, and this is the house of commitment. So, meeting somebody who is more marriage material or relationship material rather than just good times, but it can still be good times, but something more serious. If you have clients, that can just increase them a lot. Jupiter can be about expansion, but just in general, feeling like you're in a cycle where everything is going your way. The Wheel of Fortune is about the cycle, and when it's not aligned, you see that person falling off of the wheel, but everybody's up here having a good time. And so I really feel like this is occurring for you. And it was funny because when right after, around the time that Jupiter went into Capricorn, I said, I think everybody's going to benefit from this. And I had listened to or read a few early things about Jupiter and Capricorn from astrologers, and it seemed kind of like negative because Jupiter supposedly isn't at its best when it's in Capricorn. And I was like, you know what? Those are kinds of theories that are based upon how the planets and the signs interact with one another. And I just don't, I reject that notion, because I look at Jupiter as Santa Claus, and it's like, okay, how is Santa Claus going to express himself in 2020? And I feel like he's going to give us things that are a very practical level. Whereas he might have given us a lot of lofty dreams in 2019 in Sagittarius. Dreams are only as good as their application. They can make you feel good, like you have all these, positive thoughts. But at the end of the day, when you're trying to take those dreams and make them into something practical and actually brought into the material reality, it has to be about the tangible, So I feel like we're going to see tangible evidence of our good fortune. Rather than these great ideas, they're going to be, and some of those ideas that we had in 2019 might actually come to life in physical form in 2020. How cool is that? So I'm not saying that there's anything that it's disconnected from 2019. It might be the manifestation of those dreams. So this is just kind of talking about this sense of being in this cycle of maybe good things happening for you. And what brought you to this point? Well, we have a card that is also associated with abundance. So something else may have happened that has given you more money. This card is connected to Venus. This could be like you fell in love and you felt a sense of alignment because you and this other person belong together. It can be that you were given a gift or something that has made you feel like you have financial security or abundance. You may have given birth, or your partner may have given birth, and you're a parent, and that feels like the greatest wealth in the world. So whatever it means to you, creativity, maybe you've been creating like crazy, Cancer, with the North Node in your sign. And that might make you feel totally like aligned with the kind of birthing process, if you will. What you can expect in January. We have something about letting go or walking away from something. Now, this would be something that no longer serves you. This is Cups, so it's something that no longer feeds your soul, where you don't feel that sense of emotional connection to it. And that will, yeah, I forgot about this. You're having a lunar eclipse in your sign. So that is about letting go of something in your life. Now, it may not, it's funny because I feel like with a lunar eclipse, these are things that change, regardless if you let them go or not. But there may be something in your life that you've been wanting to let go of, but because of your attachment to it, it's been hard, and the universe will help you in January to do that. The challenge is represented by the Queen of Swords in the challenge position. So I'm reading it as a reverse card, and this can be having trouble being detached. And with that inability to be detached, this can also be the feminine tendency towards, the Queen of Swords can be, especially the reversed position, can be the female version of, and I know I'm, using gender roles, forgive me, but, the violence that can be physically inflicted by a man. We usually associate physical violence with men, even though women have done it too, but just in general. But the emotional violence of a woman with words. And, when somebody feels like emotionally threatened by something, if there's something, like let's say there is somebody in your life who you need to let out of your life. And rather than just, let them go in love, you feel the need to cut them down to size. Now, what I'm saying is that there may be some relationship in your life that somebody has been unkind to you. But the thing is that letting go of a destructive relationship is not really done by doing so in anger or in trying to to get that person to go away by saying something unkind. It's done by understanding the limitations of this situation. Like the Eight of Cups, it's like, it's not that you're rejecting something or someone, it's that you can see that there is not any emotional attraction to this person, place, or thing, or that it's not fulfilling enough. And we don't have to make it personal. We can just see it for what it is. And in the upright position, the Queen of Swords can kind of use logic to disengage the emotions. But in the reversed position, the emotions may kind of like trigger unkind words towards another person, or unkind, or treating something even in the mind as like, oh, I hate this thing because I need to hate it in order to leave it. And that's just, no, because it still creates a bond, even if you have that kind of really strongly negative feeling towards something. The advice is represented by the Three of Wands. And this is fire energy, just like Jupiter rules a fire sign, Sagittarius. This is about, needing new, wider pastures and needing, more freedom, needing more autonomy. Interesting, the number 3. This is another 3. We have the Empress, and then we have the Three of Wands. The number 3 is an expansive number. So Cancer sometimes doesn't realize that it needs freedom just like everybody else. You may feel like you want that close-knit family situation. But if it's not working, then it's not working. If it's not time, then it's not time. When it is time, you'll know. And it will just kind of like fall into place. But if you're trying to make something work that's not working, your freedom and your autonomy are things that you may not realize mean a lot to you until you have them back. And this can also apply for work situations. I mean, you may be on a lucky streak, but you may feel like there's some kind of person, perhaps a female boss, maybe that's the Queen of Swords person, who is not kind, who is cutting you down. And maybe she's jealous. Maybe this is a coworker, but it seems like it would be more of a boss because the Queen would have that authority. But, sometimes people in a position of authority can be totally competitive, feel like you're going to make them look bad because you're like doing so well. So don't get it twisted. I mean, people in positions of authority can totally try and try to keep somebody down that is under them. And so it's just a matter of seeing that and saying, I don't need this. The Three of Wands can even be striking out on your own rather than just like being dependent on something else. Now, the outcome, I did pick an additional card because of this. We have here the Five of Swords. This can be other people kind of like behind your back kind of stuff. That's one of the reasons why be careful of who like if you're in a work situation and you're trying to get out of it, maybe you want to go on your own and be a consultant or have your own business, and you think that you can take the skills that you have here and do it on your own and you'll make it as much money or more, plus you will be able to have freedom of being able to like work on your own time schedule and things like that. What this can mean with the Five of Swords is that there's like this sense of intrigue, if you will, like people who are behind the scenes. And maybe to your face, they're acting like your best friend. So I mean, take this for what it's worth. You might think that I'm just paranoid. But whenever I was in a workplace situation, especially the last place that was really my full-time, whatever you want to call it, for that place, full-time type of work, not confiding, not to get too like chummy with people, because what I've noticed, and that's one of the reasons I like working for myself, is because some people are they're very like into survival. I don't know how to articulate this in the clearest way, but it's like something comes over them when they're earning money, and they feel like they have to destroy everything in their path in order to ensure that they're never without that job. So they will, do whatever it takes. Now, I'm not saying everybody's like this. God help us if that were true. But when it does happen, and you have a boss who is willing to believe those things, and that's what I'm saying with this person, is that they may have their own issues going on, and they're just looking for an excuse to be able to keep somebody down. And they might know that you're really good, because I could imagine a Cancer person being a good employee, being very caring, but also very thorough in their work. And so just being aware that if you're in the process of leaving, like, so this card, the Eight of Cups, can talk about that process, but it might be a process. It might not just happen just suddenly. It might just be gradually, depending on individual circumstances. So I did pick an additional card, and I have the King of Cups. This may be somebody to the rescue who is in a position of authority, who is also very understanding of you, who is supportive of you emotionally and knows what you've been going through. If you have, like, let's say you're pregnant and you are having to leave your partner, this may be a father who is kind and emotionally supportive, or a counselor, could be that as well. This may be a mother-in-law who is a malignant narcissist, who tries to cut you down to size with her words, and who you have to kind of deal with in order to, get to the father figure. And it's not very pleasant. But I do think that you have some good things going on. It's just that there's a lot of change. Now, in 2020, there's going to be more change for Cancer, because you're still having, the North Node in your sign. And even when it changes to Gemini in, I believe, May, there's still going to be another couple of Cancer eclipses. So just the only constant is change in 2020 for Cancer and Capricorn, but that's fine, that's okay, because it's kind of catapulting you to new places that maybe you would have never done on your own had you been afraid of the change, of making that change. So very interesting. Anyway, Cancer, I hope that some of this resonated with you. If you would like a personal reading, if you'd like a reading for 2020, a natal chart interpretation, love reading, whatever, my website is linked below. It is RenaMoonAstrology.com. I hope that January launches a great decade for you. Take care. Bye.